Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got a quick story I need to share with you. Something that you need to keep on your radar. I don't necessarily know if it's tied to anything, but in light of the subjects that I've been discussing over the last week or so about these cities, the priorities, um, the KA plan, OG plot, go to my Rumble channel. Um, I would be paying attention to the fact that this lieutenant governor passed away while in office, while the governor was out of town on vacation, out of the country, actually. Check this story out. New Jersey Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver dies after hospitalization for unspecified medical care. So, New Jersey Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver has died after she was hospitalized. Uh, Jeez. She was hospitalized this week for an undisclosed medical issue, her family announced in a statement on Tuesday. She was 71. It is with incredible sadness and a heavy heart that we announce the passing of the Honorable Sheila Y. Oliver, Lieutenant Governor of the state of New Jersey, her family said in the statement. She was not only a distinguished public servant, but also our cherished daughter, sister, aunt, friend, and hero. As we come to terms with this profound loss, we kindly request that you respect the privacy of the Oliver family during this difficult time as they grieve their beloved Sheila, her family said. Sheila Y. Oliver leaves behind a legacy of dedication, service, and inspiration, they said. We will remember her we will remember her commitment to the people of New Jersey and her tireless efforts to uplift the community. Oliver was filling in for the New Jersey governor, Phil Murphy, who is on vacation this week in Italy. But she was hospitalized this week for unspecified medical care. Mahan Gunnaranta, or Garantna, Murphy's communication director, said in a statement Monday. Senate President Nicholas Scuderi, a Democrat, stepped in as acting governor as mandated under the state constitution. Oliver and Murphy won re-election to second terms in 2021. During her time as lieutenant governor, Oliver oversaw the Department of Community Affairs, where she led efforts to expand initiatives for affordable housing and local government services. She was elected to serve in that General Assembly in the state General Assembly in 2003. I'm sorry. She went on to serve as Assembly Speaker for 4 years, beginning in 2010, becoming the first Black woman in the state's history to hold that position. Oliver grew up in Newark. Remember, Newark is on the list. She graduated cum laude from Pennsylvania's Lincoln University and received her master's degree in communication, organization, planning, and administration from Columbia University, according to her state government webpage. Murphy paid tribute to Oliver in a statement Tuesday, saying he and his family are incredibly saddened and distraught to learn of the passing of our dear friend, colleague, and partner in government. Excuse me. So, I'm gonna just give y'all my 2 cents. You could take it or leave it. I won't be mad at either, but I'm just gonna give you my thoughts. Ah. Just something don't sit right in my spirit about this. And it's because if you remember that video I showed y'all from Dr. Ray Hagins. I'm sorry. Dr. Ray Hagins, when he did his speech to his congregation about the OG plot. Y'all know one of the first things that they're going to do is get rid of Black people in power, right? And so I don't know, things just, I watched They Clone Tyrone last night, so my mind is just thinking. And if you haven't watched the movie, you should. But only Pamela's Way sent me a, a lead. And so this lead just kind of got me wondering. So the lead says Klaus Schwab's daughter says that there's going to be a permanent climate lockdown coming, whether we like it or not. It was fact checked. This came out on July 30th, 2023, 2 days ago. And there's a disclaimer on the site. It's on X, which is formerly Twitter. But when you click on the link to the site gives you way more insight than just um, the brief tweet. So I'm going to share with you something. And maybe it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I did a video on connecting this climate scientist, or this scientist, alleged scientist who worked for NASA, who basically has been calling publicly in the media for Papa to declare a climate emergency, a national climate emergency. When he does this, this gives over power. It cedes power to the very people who come up with these sustainable goal items, and it gives power to the organization that makes the owl sound, and to the W and the E and the F. So this story plays into that, but I'm stuck on this national emergency, declaring this national emergency. Something is going on, and whatever happens, it's going to happen real fast, y'all. But I want y'all to pay attention to all these black people that suddenly turning up dead, dying mysteriously, especially black people in power and black people closely affiliated with black people in high places who have had power and who might know some stuff. Y'all need to get your third eye working. Get your third eye working. It's a dead cat on the line. I cannot put my finger on it, but something ain't right. So, Klaus Schwab's daughter says permanent climate lockdowns coming, whether you like it or not. I wish I could make this little box go away, but y'all know sometimes. Okay, so it says the daughter of WEF's founder, I'm going to be speaking in code, so y'all work with me, has boasted that permanent climate lockdowns are coming, whether people like it or not. According to Schwab's daughter, the was a tremendous opportunity to test how the public would comply with the plans to usher in the GR agenda. The W and the E and the F's got to find a new name for them folks. Promotion of the climate emergency, which is what you're seeing right now in the media. All this, oh, it's been so hot. It's hot all month. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's the hot that it's ever been. I told y'all it was something not right about this. Narrative seeks to create a change that is not incremental, which means they want it to happen fast. They're trying to accelerate it. And that's how it feels to me. It feels like somebody trying to get you to buy something that you don't really want to buy. Like a car. You go to the car dealership and they're trying to tell you, oh, it's good. I want a used car. They're trying to sell you this new car with all the bells and whistles, but I don't want that. I'm over here looking at this. I didn't come for what you sent me, where you're trying to send me. And they just won't let you leave the conversation. And so you kind of stuck listening to what they're talking about. That's how I feel. Ines made the admission in a newly unearthed video that was recorded during a panel discussion back in 2020. Remember 2020? That's when it came out. Them folks list NS, Swabi's daughter, as a member of the executive committee of the them folks, who is also the co-director of Platform to Accelerate Nature-Based Solutions in 1T.org. The group of attendees were discussing how the fake threat of an immediate emergency can be used to further advance the GR plan for humanity. The crisis, I got a real cough now, so the cough crisis has shown us that, first of all, things can shift very rapidly when we put our minds to it. That's scary. And when we feel the immediate emergency to our livelihoods, that don't even make no sense. When we feel the immediate emergency to our livelihoods. Okay, she declared. These are direct quotes from things that she said. And second, that clearly the system, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, that we had before is not sustainable. So there you go. They're using code for how they're going to usher in the excuse for why we're going to have to usher in this sustainable goals that are tied to the UN. So I see it as a tremendous opportunity to really have this GR and to use this huge flows of money. Huge flows of money means all the infrastructure development they've done over the last 3 years. Hint, hint, broadband, hint, hint, giving away free tablets, telephones, developing the Web 3.0, data logging all of our profiles, collecting all our biometric data, this predictive policing, buying off our local, state, and national elected officials, the public-private partnerships. So that's what she's talking about. To use the increased levers that policymakers have today. So by us trusting our politicians, they took more power from us. And so now we're at the cusp of losing what little bit we do have because people won't wake up and push back in a way that was not possible before, to create change that is not incremental, but that we can look back and we can say that this is the moment where we really started to position nature at the core of the economy. So now she's talking about nature worship. And everything is going to be about nature, soil and green, carbon emissions, cutting out CO2, no soda, um, 3D meat, lab grown meat, soil and green sticks, powder this, um, renewable agriculture. What is that? I thought agriculture renews it on its own if you leave it alone. Regenerative this and that. So this is what this emergency is all about. The emergency that they're calling what will come after all the calamity that they're going to create will be this plan. That's what they're talking about. Take the point of view of business and economy and looking at where are there opportunities to create jobs and regenerate nature. Eco Sabbath is coming, people. And there are plenty of opportunities. And this is again a mindset of actually innovation technology and a business growth can happen with a positive impact of nature, and kind of laying out some of these examples. I ain't never heard people so evil can't say what it is that they're trying to say. This stuff don't even be making no sense. Like I don't know. I just can't figure out why they can't say stuff better than the way that they say it. Unless it's meant to intentionally be vague and goofy, because what they say don't really make no sense. But um, I'm just quoting directly what they say. Um, these are all direct quotes. Regenerative agriculture is, of course, a huge part of that as well, Swaby continued. And one of the key reflection points here is also around engaging youth. Here you go. See, they always got to get your young people on them, convince them to recycle so they can convince you to recycle and all this nonsense. Then you got to argue with them like they the parents about stuff that you got way more knowledge about. But this is to show you they're targeting youth, bombarding our youth in any and every way possible. And for me, it's again, I come back to this shift in the mindset of the restoration generation. Can we conceive of ourselves as humans? What is she saying? Is she a reptilian? Because this stuff don't make no sense. But I'm gonna get back to why I'm concerned about this black woman keeling over. I mean, you talked about a new humanity. I think you mentioned it, right? Can we conceive ourselves as a restoration generation? I think that's where we need to go. I'm also hopeful that it's possible, but I think it will take a lot of will, both political will, but also in terms of the business actors to break the business as usual, but in a very serious way, and to say we need to make very difficult choices. So notice that in no way they ain't talking about grown people. They're not talking about citizens, just about business and the youth who are gullible and don't know no better, easily persuaded, and politicians, people who can make things happen that they want to have happen. There are trade-offs, but this is our chance and other and is this is about risk. I don't this stuff don't even make no sense. There are trade-offs, but this is our chance and other, and this is about risk. And it's about resilience because the shocks are coming are going to be even worse if we don't do it now. So you know something bad coming. This was in 2020 when she said this. And the video is in this post. I'm not gonna read anymore, but it also says that the was the test of social responsibility. Um, so basically, the organization goes on to cite how so many people compiled with lockdown. I say complied. I'm sorry. How so many people complied with lockdown mandates despite overwhelming evidence of the harmful consequences such restrictions had on society. The W and the E and the F then implies that that the public would behave in a similarly obsequious manner in other areas of life. So I'm concerned about the fact that they want a national climate emergency declared and they want the president to make the declaration because I've already told you what happens or what is going to happen when they do this. It means the president will be able to use the military to do certain things. And not initially, but people are going to rebel this time because people are waking up. And so when people wake up and start rebelling, and there is civil discourse, y'all already know what the plan is. And between what I told you and what Dr. Ray told y'all in his video to his congregation that I hope you watched, they're going to collect, round up, do whatever they got to do to these black leaders and put the power back into the hands of white people, in particular, white men. And anybody who's not white, or I'm sorry, anybody who's not black or Latino. So the fact that all of a sudden it's like they're doing housekeeping, I would be looking at the connections of this woman. Besides being from Newark, and Newark is one of them sacrificial cities, and the fact that she passed away while the governor was out of the country, y'all. And she had a medical emergency, but don't nobody know nothing about it. And we all getting sick all of a sudden. Everybody's sick over the last week. My grandchildren sick, been isolated all summer, ain't been around nobody. Children go to school 1 day, 2 days, everybody's sick in the house. What is going on? What is really going on? Is something in the food? Did they sprinkle something over in the air? What's happening? Because something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like something big is coming. Anyway, pay attention to the black people who are in high places passing away, and the people who, and black people in particular, who are connected to the black people in high places, in particular, the 44th president. I don't know what kind of connection she has to anyone, but I would be checking. Also, I would keep in mind that there's this constant push to keep talking about the weather. I keep getting these weather notifications. It's so hot. Oh, this is happening here. This is happening there. The climate is so bad. You see people on the news talking about, oh, it's never been this hot. I've never experienced this. These people might be actors for all we know. We don't know nothing. I don't trust nothing nobody's saying. I don't care. Think what you want to about me. I just don't care. But something ain't right. If they declare a national emergency or climate emergency, it's over. It is over. We're going to have curfews. We're going to have lockdowns. Everything that we've been talking about this last week is can be used. It may not start off in the beginning, but as soon as whatever bad thing happens that's going to drive people to start behaving poorly, like hoarding, going to the store, because as soon as they say lockdown, folks are going to run to the store, buy up all the toilet paper. Now we got to deal with inflation. We got supply chain issues that are worse now than they were back in 2020, 2021. We get ready to have chaos. So if you have not finished prepping, please continue to prep. Wrap them preps up. Get the tilling, them gardens. Get you do whatever you got to do. Start talking to people who got land. See if you can talk to churches. If you got churches in your community that ain't doing nothing with their property, y'all need to really be innovative right about now, because things are really going to go south fast. And if there's a way for you to try to become more self sufficient until things get out of hand, please do so. Because I don't know when or where, um, the bottom is going to fall out, but it's coming. There's an urgency, there's a push, and to keep trying, antagonizing Pawpaw, even going as far as to call him anti-science, which is hypocritical because he was one of the ones that I follow the science, follow the science. Uh, calling the rest of us conspiracy theorists because we were questioning them forcing stuff on us. Anytime you feel forced or uncomfortable about, something that they're saying, you pay attention to it. Is this your Holy Spirit is telling you, wait a minute, something ain't right. Go slow, do some investigations. Don't, and when you feel that, don't let other people compel you to do something otherwise, because everybody ain't led by the Holy Spirit. Some people don't have no spirit. They will walk right into a trap and then have you looking crazy because they didn't have no spirit at all. So some things are happening that's just really odd. The timing is odd, and New Jersey is one of those states where there's a lot of us and a lot of essays. So, just pay attention to what's happening, y'all. Don't sleep on nothing. Don't sleep on anything. Something is going on, and there's a time frame. I told y'all they are accelerating their agenda, and so we just got to be on our toes. Keep your head on the swivel. Stay prayed up. Repent daily for sins of commission and sins of omission. Pray for the awakening. Pray our brothers and sisters continue to wake up. If you have not watched that movie, They Cloned Tyrone, please do. Um, it's really eye opening. It's a confession, really. Um, most people will not watch it. They should. If you're awakened, you'll see everything in the movie. You'll see all the little subliminal messaging. If you are asleep, it's just gonna be a funny black exploitation movie for you. And I feel sorry for people who can't see what's happening. Anywho, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to wrap things up. Hit that bell notification so that when I upload new content, you will be notified. Make sure you are still subscribed because I have been getting a lot of people who are being unsubscribed. I'm losing subscribers. Follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram and on Facebook. Hit the links in the description to subscribe. I do not post there unless I'm booted off of this platform. I only use this. This is my primary platform now. Also consider subscribing to my Rumble and Odyssey channels. I will be uploading to Rumble. If I get blocked on YouTube again, my next punishment will be 2 weeks. So if I notify you that I am unable to post, you will have to come to Rumble. I do not have a backup channel on YouTube. To me, it's just too much trouble. Finally, prepare for these climate lockdowns. You need to be rounding up your stuff. You need to be prepared for rolling blackouts. You need to be prepared for food shortages. You need to be prepared for store closings. You need to be prepared for supply chain breaks or breakdowns. Famine is coming because there's less food out there growing. And there was less food growing last year. We need to have water. It's not raining like it usually does. And if there is a roll blackouts, then you may not be able to get water from your local and county governments. So take that into consideration. Or if you have a well and the well is powered by electricity, if you don't have a backup source, you won't have any water. So make sure that you are really taking into consideration what will happen when the lights go out, when the grid goes down, or if there's a climate emergency, because the climate emergency declaration is going to come with consequences like shutting down the power grid. And I ain't even got onto if we have cyber attacks or whatever. Some sleeper cells decide they want to wake up. So, y'all, we are in danger. Please cry out to the Most High and continue to cry out. Work out your salvation and stay in your word, because the only thing that's going to save us is the Most High. I have faith. I don't have any fear, but I understand that things are getting to a point where we don't have any choice except to cry out. So, with that said, pay attention to what's happening to these people. Pay attention. Pay attention. Folks dying suddenly right after becoming the president. I'm not the president, I'm sorry. Right after going from being the lieutenant governor to the governor while the governor is out of the country on vacation. Y'all, something ain't right. Dead cat on the line. All right. This is Marley K. Keep your head on a swivel, and I'm out.